I just hate running in general.
Yeah.
And it was like, it
You're
wasn't
a basketball player.
I know, but it wasn't even anything intense. I would have to run 10, 15 minutes on the treadmill before we got into anything.
Right.
But that was like the worst 15 minutes because it was like, I was out of shape too because I haven't been working out.
Yep.
I've just been rehabbing.
Yep.
So 15 minutes on the treadmill is a lot.
That is a lot. Showing up in Crocs. Oh, sorry, I can't run today. My bad. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Towel Talk. I know we've done one of these before. We're bringing back a former client to chat with us kind of about the experience. So not specifically about any topic, just about their experience with the clinic and with physical therapy. So I'll have him introduce himself.
I'm Mark Beaton. Yeah.
That's it?
Oh, no.
What brought you here in the first place? What happened? What injury did we rehab?
My ACL, right
Okay.
ACL.
Okay. Were you at another clinic before? Or did we get you right after surgery?
You got me from another clinic.
Aha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about that. This is
All right.
our previous client we talked to was also an ACL, but she came to us right off of surgery.
Yeah.
So what was your experience like at the other clinic, and what made you decide to come to us?
Well, the other experience wasn't the best. They were like more focused on everybody there at once. It was like one person and they had to take care of like 6 people at once.
Ooh, okay.
And like, I didn't feel like I was getting the, what's the word? The
attention. Yeah.
I didn't feel like I was getting the attention I needed to rehab. But in my mind, it didn't really like affect me because the doctor was telling me 6 months you'll be back. So I'm like, all right, well, I can just show up, do my work. 6 months, I'll be back. But then eventually the PT guy told me that he's done as much as he could for me there.
Right.
And that I need to find a new clinic that can push me harder.
That's right. He almost kicked you out of PT.
Right.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, that's fine. And honestly, I didn't even know Limitless was a thing.
Yeah.
I told my mom. My mom was like, well, I can't think of anywhere else that's like, that could fit you well.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, maybe try Game Changers, the area, because I know that they have a lot of athletes because my friend went to the school here.
Okay.
I was like, I'm sure they have some type of rehab thing.
Yeah.
So she came here and she found you guys.
Ah, so it was just by chance that you knew about the school and the gym, and then you're like, okay, very good.
Yeah. So we had the interview with you guys.
Right.
And then we had another interview with the UNLV clinic, but I was like, nah, I like it here. Let me just come here.
Awesome. Yeah, because that's right. You came in for that free consultation, and mom and dad were with you, and we kind of chatted for half an hour, and they asked some good questions, and I know you were asking some good questions too. I still remember you were starting to have more pain actually, right?
Yeah.
During the rehab, and they were kind of ignoring it when you came here. Okay. And they had you doing like box jumps on stairs, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Like in a stairwell. So that's tricky.
Right. It was super weird. It's like in an office building.
Yes. Yep.
So you know where an athlete, like maybe an old person could go and rehab there.
Yeah. So you were not getting the attention. You were, I think you even said it that he just kind of let you do your exercises in the stairwell and walked away, right?
Right.
So no one was actually watching you.
Nobody was in the area. It was just
you were
me.
getting more pain, 3 months out of surgery. Yeah. And I think I remember when I did that consultation, I even told you and your parents, was like, we're looking at this as a 1 month, post-op ACL. And they're like, what do you mean? He's been rehabbing for 3 months. And I was like, functionally, he's not. His quad's still not activating well. His range of motion's stiff and stuck. He's having more pain, almost like a patellar tendonitis type situation. What was your graft? Was it a bone tendon from the patella?
No, it was a quad.
You had a quad tendon.
Yeah.
Okay, so slightly different as well. They're getting away from that, and they're doing patellar tendons usually. So, and I remember we had to deal with that for a little bit of time too, because your quad didn't want to activate again. So, all right. What ended up kind of making the decision for you to come here versus anywhere else?
You just seem to know what you were talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So like, just that consultation kind of sold the deal.
Yeah. And it's like you had the facility and you had everything that was like more sports related. Like everything seemed like to revolve around getting you back to your sport rather than getting you back to where you were.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Perfect.
So.
Perfect. All right. So tell us about the experience of rehab, because we had you also on that year package again.
Yeah.
And then did we do recovery? No, I think
we did a little bit.
A little bit.
But then
you were back to training and everything, and your schedule was a little bit busy.
Right.
So tell us about the rehab.
Well, at the beginning, it was tough because I was so far behind. Mm-hmm. But I was working with Ashley.
That's right. Yeah.
And she pushed me really hard. And, I got comfortable, because like I could do my work and she would still push me hard. But, it wasn't all about the work. We had some conversations and we talked. So like I felt really comfortable and at home here, and it made the work and the work easier to do.
Perfect.
When like the pain was hard,
Yeah.
but like when I got it like she talked me through it, it was good.
Good. Yeah, and early on, I know you were super frustrated as well because you were changing schools.
Yeah.
I know there's eligibility problems too with all that stuff. And then at the same time, you felt like, hey, I thought I was further along in this rehab process
Right.
than I really was. So I remember that being kind of a tough transition. Tell us what was kind of going through your head at the time. Like how worried were you? How stressed out were you, if at all, once you started here?
I remember my first day, I was really worried.
Yeah.
Because I did not know what I was getting into here. Because like I knew what last place was like.
Right.
And I'm like, this might be a little more intense than the last place. And I remember I walked in, it was Ashley waiting for me, and then Christina and Lay.
Yeah.
They were working. And I remember
That's right.
I felt
That's right.
immediately comfortable once Christina Lay started talking to me. We were talking about having a competition on who was farther along.
Yep.
And we said that in 6 months we were gonna have a race and see who could go faster and who was farther along in their recovery.
That is totally right.
Right.
I remember it. You guys were doing your side steps with the band to start off with, getting some glute activation as well.
So immediately I felt comfortable here.
Perfect. Now, what was your least favorite part of rehab? If you had a least favorite. Cardio, there it is.
It's not even I just hate running in general.
Yeah.
And it was like, it wasn't
You're a basketball player.
I know, but it wasn't even anything intense. I would have to run 10, 15 minutes on the treadmill before we got into anything.
Right.
But that was like the worst 15 minutes because it was like, I was out of shape too because I haven't been working out.
Yep.
I've just been rehabbing.
Yep.
So 15 minutes on the treadmill is a lot.
That is a lot. Yeah. I know. I think we had tried to break it up too with the rower, with the assault bike, with the elliptical, and then the treadmill as well. Yeah. Showing up in Crocs. Oh, sorry, I can't run today. My bad. Yep. Core days were your favorite though, right?
Yes.
Core days were the best. Awesome. What else? So I know we had talked about before, was there a time where you kind of plateaued during the rehab process, and what did we potentially do to kind of get you over that hump?
I remember it was a transition period because I went from Ashley to Christina because Christina focused more on getting me stronger and back. Like,
right, that return to sport kind of stuff. Yep.
So I remember it was probably like maybe the 8th or 9th month, I was hooping in my backyard. And I'm like, wow, I feel really good. Like I might be able to return now, right? And I came here and I was telling Ashley about it. And she was like, no, not yet.
Not yet, yep.
And then after that, I was just really frustrated. Like, I feel good, I feel ready. But you guys were obviously right. I was not ready.
Yeah.
And I transitioned to Christina. We started working towards that. I realized how unready I was because there's so much more that goes into returning other than the just hooping by myself.
Yes.
Portion. I got to go against other guys.
So taking contact, drills, agility drills, things like that. I think we did the VALD testing for you at that point, right? And then I think that's what showed the differential that your quad and your hamstring still weren't, anywhere near where they needed to be to get you back. So I know you were itching to get back on the court. We started doing some of our rehab drills on the court with the basketball.
Yeah.
And I think that helped kind of ease your mind too. Like, okay, I'm getting slowly back to these drills mean something. They mean something to getting me back to my sport. So how was that early recovery time? Because I know you did a little bit of it as you transitioned back to practices and playing. And I know you do club ball as well, right? Not just high school ball. So talk to me about that transition.
It was a good transition because we really mostly focused on like lower body stuff, getting my knees right. And then my quad wasn't as strong as the other one. So we really focused on getting that a lot stronger because, I was getting right back into playing. Right. And it's like, I started playing like every single weekend.
Yep.
So I would come back and Christina would help me recover from the weekend first. And then we'd get into strengthening my knee and my quad more. Just get me ready for the next weekend. Right.
So we were doing kind of the compression boots, cupping, scraping, stretching, that kind of stuff, and some gentle quad activation.
Right.
Very good.
So it was mostly like, out of the 3 days we were together, it would be like 2 days recovery and then 1 day of working.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Perfect. I'll repeat that. So Jake gave us a good question about what things did we teach you that you're still kind of carrying through with your kind of play, return to sport, getting back to that full. Talk to us about that. Like, did we add warm-ups, cool-downs? What did you take away from the whole process?
I learned a lot of stretching things. Like before games, Christina put me on like a whole stretching routine.
Right. We're doing kind of that dynamic mobility.
I don't remember them all.
That's okay.
It's a lot.
If you remember, I remember
most of them, and I go through now before each game, before each practice. And it's also like superstition stuff too.
Yeah.
I still like, sometimes I feel my knee, like not in a bad way, just like in a scared way.
Still have to warm it up. Still have to feel confident in it. Yep.
So
see, now we got to get you back in. Do some touch-up work. Get you
Maybe,
stronger again. See? Yeah.
So before every game or practice, I'll grab it and knock on some wood real quick just in case for superstitions. But.
Hey, everyone has their superstitions. Everyone has their. I think I still remember when Adrian Peterson came back from his ACL. It was quicker than what it should have been. So everyone thinks that they can get back quicker, which is not the case. But it took him. I think they said they did a kind of a report on his return to football, and I think that was the season he almost broke the single season rushing record. He was in the clubhouse 2 hours before any other player doing the warm up and going through his process. Partially because he's like, I don't want to screw it up again, so I'm going to do everything that I was doing before, plus my normal football warm up, plus my rehab stuff, and so. I still remember that. That's kind of a common theme for folks getting back from injury is that even after they don't necessarily need all this stuff, they're still doing it because they're like, hey, this made sure I didn't get hurt again, so I'm going to keep doing every single thing forever.
No, I'm terrified of re-injuring myself, so I go through it every single practice.
Because it was what, like 16 months essentially, right? It was the 3 months you were at the other clinic, a year and a couple more months with us to get fully back to it. So, and that's kind of a natural reaction of our brain. It goes back to that fearful state of, hey, the last time, I played, I got hurt. It took that long to get back to it. I never want to do that again. It remembers all that stress. On top of that, you were changing schools. Eligibility stuff was a problem back then too. The club ball scene was also causing some trouble for you, if I remember correctly. So kind of pain science shows that your brain kind of links your physical pain to some of that stress too. So I wonder if you're stressed right now. Are you stressed right now? Are you getting a little worried? Yeah. So maybe that knee pain, that little achy is coming from that stress. Yeah. So see, we need to get you back in.
Maybe, yeah.
Very good. All right. Thank you again, Mark. I appreciate you being here. That's it for today for Towel Talk. Thanks again for sticking around. Just like usual, we don't know how long these will be. We don't know how often we'll drop them. We don't know what the topics are going to be, but we know we'll be back to chat some more PT stuff. So thanks for sticking around.